Next we've got the short of lamb. So this is the front end of the lamb, front legs, if you want to call it that. We call them the shoulders. And what you've got here, you've got the scrag or stewing lamb, which is this first bit here, which traditionally that would have been chopped, Lancashire hot pot, stews, that's what you use it for. But we're going to do something different. We're going to remove the neck fillet, which is a great braising dish for in the oven. You've got two shoulders. We're going to remove the two shoulders. One of them I'm going to leave whole, traditional slow roasting shoulder of lamb. The other one, what I'm going to do is bone it out, which then it can be stuffed or it can be rolled as it is for a more modernised shoulder of lamb. We'll then remove the two neck fillets, which will then be a slow braising dish in the oven, which has phenomenal flavour because it's got the natural fat running through it. Okay, so we're going to start by removing the shoulders. Remove this rubber band, which just holds them in shape. Reason the rubber band will be on there is to hold the shoulders nice and square, so they look presentable to the customer. We're going to take the knife and we're going to run down the side of the rib bones. Now we'll run down here gently, and as I run down, a seam will appear. That seam's important because that seam there shows me where the neck fillet is and the shoulder of lamb is. And that is the seam I'm looking to follow to remove my shoulder of lamb. And I'll remove the shoulder of lamb like so, and it comes off nicely panned. I'll do the same the other side. And once again, I come down the rib bones, and once again, I'm looking for that seam to appear. And as soon as that seam appears, I'm careful with the point of the knife so I do not cut into middle neck fillet. And then once again, pan the shoulder off, like so. So you've got your two shoulders and your middle neck fillet. Could chop that and just sell it on the bone as chopped stewing lamb. A lot of the time, very few places use that now. So we're going to take this middle neck fillet out of here. And it runs from there all the way up to where the head of their carcass normally is. So we'll come down the side. And this is all the vertebrae. So the point of the knife has a lot of work to do here because you're moving round the shape of the vertebrae. And you're trying to achieve as much of the meat off the vertebrae as possible. There we go. And once you've loosened one side, you turn it over and you do exactly the same the other side. Once again, important to let the weight of the meat do the work. So as I'm pulling this away from the bone, the knife cuts towards the bone and the meat lifts away. That way, if I slip or miss with the knife, all it's going to hit is the bone. It's not going to hit my fingers. The worst thing you can do is bone out or cut any meat, vegetables, anything you do with a blunt knife. 99% of cuts, and the worst cuts, are always from butchers using blunt knives because they try and press too hard because the knife is not cutting the meat. So it's important to sharpen your knives. It's important to butcher with a sharp knife. Now, that's what we call the middle neck fillet. Two neck fillets running down. Slowly braised in the oven. Fantastic flavour profile. But we have a problem. And the problem is our little friend we call the Paddy Whack. It's nicknamed the Paddy Whack, and it is this gristle membrane that runs down the back of the animal's neck. It's on every animal. Cattle have it, we have it as human beings. And it's one of the gristles that helps hold your head in place. So what you do is you remove that, you trim the outer fat off the middle neck fillets. You have 2 fantastic middle neck fillets there, ready for slow braising in the oven. This Paddy Whack, like an elastic band. Elastic band, Paddy Whack. You'll be chewing all day on that. That is one of the only things we're going to end up wasting. So I'll put that to one side. The bone there, you have a little bit of meat between the ribs, and what you do is you just come down and trim them, because you don't want to waste that meat. That will go for burgers, koftas, stuffing fasts. It's got plenty of uses. So you literally come down each bone, just trim it out like so. Turn it over and from the other side. Now it's important because when I'm trimming like this, I am trimming towards my upper arm there. Now it's important what you do is you trim into the bone, because if you're trimming into the bone, you're not going to cut yourself. If you're trimming away from the bone, you may cut yourself. But that is a nice amount of meat I've taken off that bone. The bone will go in the stock pot, make your jus, make your gravy. But that trim has another value, and we need to increase the value of everything we do. So we've done the scrag and middle there. We've achieved our 2 lamb neck fillets for braising, little bit of trim, which then goes for further processing.